So I'd like for y'all to welcome my first guest, Gypsy Blessed.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay. So, and your Wednesday go well?
What?
Did your Wednesday go well?
It was actually long because my dumbass drank last night.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, it was okay. How was yours?
It was good. I worked and pretty slow. So, the typical Wednesday, end of the month, those things we got to do. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. All right. So, what was the original reason that you joined Tagged?
Well, actually, I was on tag in 2007,
Hmm.
and obviously there wasn't live.
Right.
I came to meet somebody, obviously, for a dating site,
Right.
and I tried to log back in. I think it was the end of last year.
Okay.
My page got deleted. So I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, so let me make a new page. So
Right.
I made it and I seen live on here and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So then I just eventually got over like trying to meet somebody. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, maybe I'll just start streaming.
Right.
That's why I started streaming and kept on going.
Sounds pretty familiar to my story. I originally got on here to meet people. Um, it was, as far as I knew, this was 2017, maybe 2018 time frame, like the end of 17 and 18. And I was kind of searching around. I was like, oh, a live feature. Well, what's this? And I
Yeah,
go in there. I'm like, oh, well, and I'm still thinking it's dating. I'm thinking this is a new way to date.
me
Like you can go in there live. Like, okay, so I get to see him in person. I can talk to him, and I'm not thinking there's more people than just me at first. Then I
yeah,
start seeing more comments. I started another thing. I was like, oh, okay, well maybe. And things kind of just evolved from there. So um, yeah, so got on here to date, and here I am. So,
right, me too.
so a lot of us have a history behind how we got our name. If it's something that we came up with, or if it's something that someone gave us. What's the history behind your name here on Tag?
Well, actually, with my history, my family history, I have Indian in me.
Okay.
I've actually had Indians in my family, like real Indians in my family.
Mhm.
Um, and with my mom's side of the family, I was born to be an actual gypsy, except my
Okay.
life turned for the worst. And I was actually like atheist before, and
Mhm.
then I had a spiritual awakening.
Gotcha.
And then I went, obviously, started believing in God, gave my life to God. Um, it's been a long history with me trying to believe, just due to the fact of everything was always negative.
Mhm.
I always, my thoughts. So I had a hard time believing. But once I did, I found out that I was truly blessed. So
Mm.
then I added the blessed on. So it's like a two-part thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think sometimes you change it though, right?
Yeah. But I'm keeping it as this.
Okay, because that's what I was given when I sent the names to the banner, and then the banner says the other name.
I know. It don't matter.
This is her. Trust me. Because when
It's
you
me.
first came out, I was like, wait a minute, is that Gypsy? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I had the thing. I seen the profile. That's got to be her because she's got the profile picture from for the show. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Mine was actually given to me by another streamer. Many of y'all heard the story before. I came on here with my real first name, my given name, well, my nickname. I didn't know. Well, again, it was a dating site, so I wanted to give my real name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at one point when I started streaming, really kind of started moving things and moving up on the trending board, things like that. Another streamer was like, "Well, um, you're not this. You're the Godfather." So I had changed it to Godfather in my first name, and then it's kind of evolved over the course of the months to really long name down to the short, just simple, the Godfather. So that's
Yeah.
where it'll stay from now on. So So, and how long have you been on the tag streaming part of it now? How long have you been streaming on here on tag?
I'd say probably, well, I wasn't too active, but I'm
Hmm.
starting to get more into it.
Hmm.
Um, I just got two kids that are like demons. So it's like hard to even do anything.
Right.
Like probably since January or February.
Okay. Okay. So, still fairly new at streaming. Well, no, actually, no. That's if you've been on here streaming that long. That's so. So, what are some accomplishments that you look to achieve on tag?
Um, some accomplishments, probably a top badge eventually.
Yep.
I also just came up with two shows. I think I'm gonna start it next week,
Okay.
like to maybe become help people become more spiritual awoke with what's going on,
Okay.
because there's not a lot of people think like, oh, it's something spiritual, it's something bad.
Right.
It's nothing, it's always positive.
Right.
um I pretty much just want to help people, like use this app and help people so much, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I mean, you definitely in a lot of people and certain things that people don't like to talk about because it's uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
spirituality is one of those things because
Yep.
maybe because of how what they learned as a child, maybe what they learned as an adult.
Yep.
Um, there are just so many different layers that come to coming to a live stream and someone just being positive about it. And if y'all haven't, I've versed Gypsy a few times, and she's always got just an upbeat attitude, always just real smiley, always happy. Definitely someone that you definitely want to go check out to kind of feel the positive vibes. If y'all, like I said, if y'all haven't favored her, go ahead and hit her up with that fave. Go check her out. She's a phenomenal woman. So she's got a lot to tell too. So, um, so besides besides streaming, what are some other or what are some long-term goals do you have for yourself?
Long term, probably my first one is to maintain my sobriety. I'm not sure if I think I told you. um
Hmm.
I was in addiction. I've got over a year to maintain my sobriety and probably to be a drug counselor,
Okay.
because I was the one, I always sat in jail and said, I'm going to be the addict that never stops until I die. Like that was
Right.
all that I said. And I just want to help people come out of addiction and see the real them, because I never in a million years thought that I could stop ever. So
Wow.
I think being a drug counselor long term would probably be my biggest goal.
Okay. And the good thing is, people don't also don't realize that when you go through things and when you make it through that and when you have victory in a particular thing that you've had problems with, now you have the tools to help someone that is going through that same thing. You said you're
Yeah.
going on a year of sobriety. So you know what it takes. You know what things you have to do, what mindset that you have to have in order to make that year of sobriety. So who else better to teach others or to help others as someone that's already been through it?
Yeah.
You think about it, you you're not going to go it just to me, this is just my opinion. It doesn't make sense for someone to go talk to someone that's never been through something that they're going through to
Exactly.
get help.
Yeah, it
You
did
know,
just don't work out. Like I've been through so many counselings that like
hmm.
it's like if you haven't experienced it, how can you try to tell me that, oh, it's easy? Like
Right.
it's nowhere easy, because listen, I still battle daily. No, I
Hmm.
don't act upon my thoughts, but at the same time it's still in the back of my head. Everything I used to do, everything I've done to others, to my grandparents. I mean, it's something hard to work through.
Right, but you've got the strength. You made it through, like I said, up to 1 year. So yeah, exactly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We're all very proud of you, and I'm sure you're proud of yourself. I'm sure your family and friends that stuck by you through the whole ordeal are like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're proud of you. Great job. I mean, that's awesome.
Thank you
So,
guys.
so everybody has their own little differences or things that they may do differently here as streamers. You got all sorts of different types. So, what do you think makes you different than other streamers?
I actually, like I mentioned, my spiritual. I know a lot of people don't like to do like religion talk or
Mhm.
spirituality, but
Right.
I'm the type that like I like to be open and I like to see people's views upon things because, as
Mhm.
I said, I used to be atheist. So like I know there's a bad, and now that I'm a Christian, like I've lived both lives, the bad and the good.
Right.
So I feel like I'm a very different streamer from others because a lot of people don't like talking about religion or spirituality. And
Right.
some people will just come in my live and just leave, which that's fine too, because I'm an empath. I sense things. So if somebody
Hmm.
comes into my live with negative energies, I sense that.
Right.
So,
Actually, been told, and I'm very, I guess you say I'm an infant when it comes to that part of it, like the empath and all the different parts
mhm.
of that spirituality and things. But I've been told that's, you know, they believe based off of a reading. Yeah. Based off of reading, I got a couple of readings on here
Mhm.
that they felt very strongly that I was an empath as well. And so I was like, oh, well, explain to me what that, and then they explained to me what it was. I was like, that makes a lot of sense
Yep.
because I can sense different energies and
Yep.
different vibes and like that, and
Yeah.
sometimes just off of body language, off of
Yep.
things they say, things they do, you can automatically
Yeah.
just kind of sense that
Yep.
if something's right or something's wrong, and then you kind of
Yeah.
act upon it
Yep.
based
And
off of that.
sometimes you can sense when something's about to happen. Like I do a lot, and that's why people they're like, "Oh my goodness, you're crazy!" Like I can sense, or I have like premonitions of like
Hmm.
something that's gonna happen,
Right.
or but then I don't like to mention it because I don't want to speak it into existence. But at the
Right.
same time, like I'll avoid that situation just in case, because you never know.
Right. I mean, because a lot of it's based off of energies.
Yeah.
Energies that you put out. Like a big thing that there's so many different ways it can be explained or different ways that people put it. But basically, the energy that you put out is going to be the energy that comes back to you.
Yeah.
Negative energy out, guess what's coming in?
Negative.
Negative energy. It's
Yep.
just it goes right along with you reap what you sow. Karma. There's so many
Yeah.
different names for it, but it's really basically the same thing.
Right.
Um, good energy out, good energy in. Bad energy out, bad energy in.
Yep.
Whichever you're putting out, guess
That's
what?
why.
You're gonna get that back. Sometimes you may
Yeah.
get it
That's
back
why I always
worse.
try to have a side. Oh
Right.
yeah.
so, sometimes it might come back like, dang, I don't remember putting that much out. I was
Right.
like, um, so a lot of us have, and a few of the guests on here have had some of their favorite quotes or things that sometimes inspire them. What is one of your favorite quotes, or if you have more than one, that's fine. What are some quotes that either inspire you or that you think that?
Well, I mean, I really only go by one.
Mhm.
I had to write it down. But this spiritual life does not remove us from the world, but leads us deeper into it.
Hmm, okay. So, what does that
Yeah.
when you read that or when you see that? What does that? What does that? How does that make you feel, or what does that make you think?
It makes me like think open, more open,
Hmm.
because like I a long time ago, like I always played with life. Like I never knew how blessed I was to have a life. Like I remember telling my Grandpa, I don't want to do nothing in life. I just want everything handed to me. And he said, well, you
That's
seriously
optimist.
got like screwed up. And I'm thinking, well, you guys always handed me stuff.
Right.
So how like I was raised. I was raised by them. So like that's why I like being spiritual because thinking deeper into things
Uh huh.
speak, it gets you like the climate, the nature, like you just learn a lot more. And
Right.
plus, I was a high school dropout, so like now that I'm spiritually woke, I've kind of become more interested in history, like what's going on, like, and I never knew how crazy this world was, but it makes you really open up your eyes if you like become spiritual awoke.
Right. So you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, and for those that probably wouldn't haven't really and because I recall you coming into the stream at one point. I don't remember if it was during a short or a regular stream. And you're like, I'd like to be on the show. And I said, okay, well, just send me your tag name to my DM and tell me why you'd like. Now I will tell y'all, I get a lot of different reasons why people want to be on here. Um, some, just be able people to learn about them as far as being streamers and things like that. What kind of really caught me about Gypsy was she wanted to share her story somewhat of what she's overcome. She's kind of touched on a little bit, but tell us a little bit more about, Gypsy's story. Where did it all be? Where did y'all start? You said you were going on to 1 year sobriety. Well, what was it like prior to that? What got you to this point?
Becoming spiritually woke, like I always felt like I had like negative energies attached to me that was
Hmm.
not allowing me to be better, to
Gotcha.
overcome the problems that I was going through. Like I was in addiction since 2011 until 2009 or yeah, 19. Um Everything was just bad, negative. The end, I think the middle of last year, I became spiritually woke and I said, you know
Hmm.
what? Something just clicked to me and said, believe in God. You know, God is real, believe in God.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Because everyone kept saying you cannot believe in the devil and not believe in God. Because I used to go for Illuminati, like I even got it tattooed right here.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but on my eyelids I got God's child tattooed. So like I've lived legitly the bad. I feel like I've been reborn in the same lifetime. But like ever since I started believing in God, everything's positive. My thoughts are different. Like my energies are different. And a lot of people look at Gypsy and they're like, "Ooh," like and get
Right.
scared.
Right.
It's it's not like that. Like I was
Gotcha.
born to be a natural gypsy, but all gypsies aren't the same.
Right.
Like all gypsies don't steal, they don't do curses, they don't do all that. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
sure a lot of gypsies do, but as I mentioned, I'm a Christian. So like I'm a natural healer. Like I can pray. I have the ability to actually pray and talk to God and it'll come true.
Gotcha.
So, and I don't use it for the bad. I'm not going to pray for somebody, you know, something bad happen, nothing, never.
Right.
But
Yeah. What people don't realize too is that when you were saying that, it made me think of Craven. when 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 you were talking that, it made me think of, and I may be paraphrasing, or please don't take this word for it, but what came in my mind, um, that I think it kind of goes basically that it's saying that we're delivered by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Okay, so when when we tell people what we've been through, our testimony, okay, for every testimony there's a test, right?
mhm,
For every, so um, to go through those different, and that's what kind of kept ringing in my mind as you were talking about that these things that you've been through, these tests that you've been through, and now you've got to the point where you're at now. Now you're able to share your testimony and say, hey, this is where I've been, this is what I did, and this is where I am now, and this is where I'm going. And to
yep,
be confident in that, um, to know, to be confident in that and continue to move forward. is just so powerful for anybody, no matter what your spiritual background is, no matter what um, you believe. That's just things that you can't really say, you know, that's true for everybody, no matter what belief system that you have. So that's awesome that you were able to make it to this point, and I congratulate you on what you've accomplished, and hope that you continue to move forward because
Thank
that's powerful.
Yeah, I've
Continue.
actually died 4 times as well, overdosed 4 times. So like I'm very blessed
Wow.
to be alive.
Wow. Look at you now. Oh wow. Okay, I haven't seen this one. All
Oh,
right. So big ball of cheese. So how do you think that the tagged community has affected your life?
tag has helped me actually quite a bit. Because like no matter what mood I'm in, like especially when I get upset, I kind of use tag as like a live journal, so to speak. Like I get
Mhm.
on here, like if I'm mad, I'll come on here and I'll just sit here even until like people come and I'll talk to them. And it's just like everyone that comes in my room like is positive. And if they can tell like when I'm mad or something, because like I'll just sit there like oh welcome or whatever. But once we like to interacting, I'm fine. Like I always use tag to my go-to. Like if I'm mad
Yeah.
or upset, I'm getting on people's lives talking to them. Like every single time, I it's even better than music to me.
Yeah.
Like I use tagged quite a bit, quite a bit.
Okay. So, and this is one of my favorite questions of all. Who is your hero or heroes, and why?
My heroes are probably my grandparents. Um,
Okay.
they've been here for me since day one, like since I was born. Um, my mother gave me and my brother up when I was 7 and he was 10. No matter what I've done, me and my brother both were in addiction, both stole from my grandparents. No matter what we did, my grandparents has always been my call. Like everything. Like I'll call them
Right.
in the middle of the night, and my grandpa's there. Like they're my
Oh
always will be
wow.
my big heroes.
Awesome. Well, that is all the questions that I had for Miss Gypsy. Did anybody have any questions for Gypsy before we move on to our next guest? No, somebody was asking if this is the question and answer portion. If any of y'all have any questions for Gypsy, or if you feel like I've covered them, so
Dan, what's up, Dan? What's up, Christina?
all right. I guess we're drinking. Is that cognac or what? What is that they're pouring in there?
Yeah,
Cognac,
I'm
Scotch.
never listen. I drank too much last night. Everyone kept telling me put down the bottle. I
Gosh.
said
Oh
no. I
no. All
alrighty.
right.
I will let Tiller
Well,
in.
Gypsy, I appreciate it so much you being on the show. Thank you for telling us your story. Thank you for being here. If y'all haven't
Thank
already,
you
make
for
sure that
having
you do
me.
hit her up with that fave. Go check her out. Go support her. Awesome lady. Hey, again, I definitely appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Stick around.
Thank you. You too.